Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Erik from What's on Tap. We got something really special for you today. And I say we, but Cam isn't with me right now. Cam's not feeling well, but he's gonna be able to try what I'm doing right now a little bit later, and I'll let you guys know, he'll let you guys know on our social media what he thinks about it. But kind of a little bit of a virtual episode of What's on Tap here today, maybe a virtual pour four, we should call it. We're here with one of my best friends, Andrew Vasbinder. Andrew, you're, I should say Watchdog Home Brewery, because that is what you're calling your home brewing. So Andrew's a home brewer, and really excited to have you here, man. This is so cool.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm glad you busted out the southern accent there for a few seconds. You know, since down in North Carolina, you'd fit right in. So maybe we'll have you someday in the future.
I want you to know that sometimes you're pausing as I'm talking, and it's not your phone's fault. I think it might be my computer. And so it's gonna look really funny because all of a sudden you'll speed up really quickly, but your voice will stay the same. So that might be happening a couple times throughout this video, but don't worry, he's going at normal speed. And before we get into, so Andrew, you sent me, and it's weird for me, I should mention this, because Andrew is what your name is. I always call you Mark because I met Andrew through gaming, and it's really cool that you know, you've gotten into home brewing recently, and to be able to get your beer here, I mean, we've really come to connect. Even though you're down in North Carolina, I'm up here in New York. This is super special. This is a really special thing for me to be showing to everybody who's watching this, and for us to be able to do this, I'm super excited. I haven't tasted any of his beer yet. So you are getting...
either.
You haven't tasted your beers either?
Yeah. Just kidding.
So, as you guys probably know, I've been posting your live streams. So yeah, before we get into the live streams, let's talk about you. I mean, you just got into homebrewing this past year, within the year?
Yeah. I mean, it's been a recent thing. I think like a lot of people, since probably September, I think. It's been those extract kits and whatnot. A few of those I did last year, and then decided at the end of last year I was going to hold off on buying a few kits and then just put that money towards getting a small system and doing some all grain stuff. But the all grain has been since the start of this year, and I don't know, I've done what, 6 or 7 batches I think to this point in the year, so we're kind of cruising along. But yeah, the brewing was not the original process. We started out with some fruit wine and stuff the start of last year. We got the idea we wanted to try to maybe do a little winery or something like that, and then, you know, we did that. Nothing wrong with that. The results were good, whatever, but it just didn't quite hold my interest too much. I'm not good at waiting as much as you have to for wine, I guess. You know, not the, you know, you don't have to wait for some beers, but it's not quite the same. So I'm enjoying this a lot more.
It's really cool because, you know, like, we haven't done, What's on Tap is, the big focus for the show is to do breweries, but as we're in between our seasons here and trying to figure out how we're going to do season 2, what we're going to do for season 2, it's like, you know, it's great to be able to, you know, I know you've been home brewing, but there's a lot of home brewers that we know and that follow the show, and to really have, you know, our first home brewer on the show and have it be someone who's a best friend for me, I mean, that makes it even better. I'm looking to the side, so the camera here, I should probably be focusing on the camera when I talk. So he's on a TV a little off to the side, but that's what it's like doing all this virtual stuff. But this is, you know, because you're actually down in North Carolina, not even because of COVID, but still. I missed your live stream yesterday, but you know, how we met and how we were met through gaming, but it wasn't just gaming, we met through Twitch streaming. And for us, I mean, it was like, we loved doing it. We loved streaming. And so when I went to go make videos like this, I stopped streaming, but it was just natural because that's always something I've done. And I just remember, I'm like, yes, stream these brew days. Like, you know how to stream, you know how to set it up. And yeah, I mean, that's been something cool. So what's it like, you know, kind of, you stopped streaming pretty much as I did at around the same time. But now you have something to get back into it, and you've been, like, how has that been for you? What's it like, you know, streaming the brew day? And, you know, it's cool. It's a cool thing. How do you feel about it?
I mean, I love it. I love the streaming. I used to enjoy streaming a lot. You know, we used to stream different games and stuff like that. And I mean, over time, I kind of lost interest in a lot of the
we get
stuff I
older.
was streaming.
We get older, and all of a sudden, these games that there's 12-year-olds playing, like Fortnite, like.
Yeah, I used to be able to go for hours and hours, and now it's like, you know, maybe not quite as much. So I stopped streaming for, close to a year probably, for the most part. And then, you know, people were wanting me to start streaming again and asking about it and stuff like that. So I was like, well, once I get this setup that I want and whatever, you know, maybe that's something I can stream, and you know, that way I can interact with people I used to, and you know, while doing something that I enjoy doing again. So we've been doing that, and we've had, I think, 4 or 5 of those streams so far. It can't be like a crazy regular thing since I brew, you know, once, maybe twice a week, but it's still something to, you know, do and get myself out there and, you know, just hang out with people. So.
I think for me, just to add to everybody watching, I mean, I've tuned into at least 4 of the 5 brew days, and it's great because, you know, Andrew, you do such a good job with interacting with people, and so when someone's coming in who actually maybe isn't super, you know, or not super, there's a lot of people who come in who really don't know much about brewing. I mean, they'll ask you questions, and so you're in the middle of your brew, and you're like, here's me doing it, you know, this is what we do, and you know, why do I use this? Why do I use that? And it's great, you know, because you're still learning along with it. I'm still learning with the show, and you know, people are able to come in and, you know, see what you're doing, and it's kind of something, not to go off of the name of this show, something that hasn't been tapped, you know, like a regular craft brewer streams, and I think that it's cool because it's something. There's plenty of different things out there.
Lots of videos and stuff of people doing it, but not so much, you know, like right in there while you're doing it the whole day and stuff. So I think it's cool. I mostly do it because, you know, I enjoy the streaming, and I know I have no editing skills, and if I'm responsible for putting out a video, it's never going to happen. So I hook up the cameras and we roll with it. So, and then I'm done.
It's a fun hobby. Obviously, you know, and the reason I do, and me and Cam do this show, it's, you know, it's a fun hobby for us. We love being able to go to these places and just, you know, hang out. You know, we're not doing it for money. We don't make any money off of it. So it's like, and even for you, for home brewing, I mean, you're making beer, you're spending money, but no one's buying it. No one can buy it, you know, without you having a license. So it's like, it's almost like the same deal, just a little bit different. We're just going out and enjoying it for people, where you're making your product, but you can enjoy your product afterwards. What are you know, hoping for? You know, is this going to continue being a hobby, or are you also, you know, maybe down the line, like this could be something you could do as a job?
No, I mean, on one hand, I'd be perfectly content, you know, with it being a hobby and things like that. But you know, with I think everybody that has homebrewed at some point, you've always got that thought in your head, like, oh, you know, maybe it'd be cool to open up my own place. Maybe it'd be cool to work somewhere doing this. But I mean, I've got a lot to learn before I, you know, would ever dive into something like that. I mean, I think I'm doing a fairly good job so far. I guess I'll find out. I've got my, you know, Gordon Ramsay here to try it, but
I'm not the Gordon
Ramsay.
I'd
be lying if I said it wouldn't be cool to maybe do it a little more, you know, professionally or whatever at some point. But I'm cool with it being a hobby at this point too. So the other thought scares me a little.
Well, I'm excited to you know, see what you got coming next. It's fun to watch it. So if you want to watch yourself, twitch.tv/Watchdog Home Brewery. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, so let's get into this. So virtual pour 4, let's get into it. I've already screwed up the video, so I have tasted one of these beers already, but we're gonna start like we haven't tasted. I mean, Andrew, you've tasted your beer, so you know what it's like. But yeah,
First time.
I will say we're starting off with a blueberry, but yeah, go ahead. Tell me about this beer.
Yeah, so this is like you said, the blueberry. It's a honey blueberry wheat ale. It is the first beer that was made on my live stream and was named by the chat that day. So yeah, it's a 4.9%. Pretty straightforward honey blueberry.
So I'm drinking. We're drinking full beers. These are all 12-ounce beers. And I gotta say, so I put this in the What's on Tap glass. No, not for sale, but hopefully someday. Really good starter beer. I will say that with this beer, this is one of those beers you can crush whenever. I mean, when I first poured this, immediately you bring it to your nose. It smells. That blueberry smell is pretty heavy. I mean, you think you're gonna take a sip of blueberries when you smell that, but that's not at all what you're getting. And I think that kind of it helps with the wheat and the honey to help kind of balance out that blueberry as well. So, I was expecting blueberry straight up front, but it's not super easy drinking. Definitely, I'm feeling this for springtime. I mean, we're getting warm. I got the windows open. A little bit warmer weather here. You said it. It's good for any time, whenever you want like a fruit style beer, but you're not getting that overpowering fruit taste. That was awesome. All right,
Thank you.
Good start. Where are we going next?
Well, we'll just keep going down the line. We got Hops Don't Lie next. It's an American West Coast, straightforward IPA. Nothing too crazy with this one, honestly. I tried to keep it, pretty tame, a pretty welcoming IPA, because, I like a good IPA, but I can't say that they're, if I have choices between beers, they're, a couple down the list. So I tried to keep it straightforward, because, my wife's drinking it too, and she's not usually a big IPA person, and, a lot of the people we hang with are kind of similar tastes. So I tried to keep it straightforward, a little maltier, balanced, nothing too crazy. And I wasn't, I didn't want to go too crazy, just a couple brews in, but it turned out well. I mean, I poured this, 10 or so minutes ago now, and it's
still holding. I mean, even me. This is from a bottle.
Oh, and I'd be remiss not to mention it's, after my girl Shakira. So
the name,
shout
man.
out Shakira.
I saw there was a fan-made, I should say fan-made or friend-made label for that, and that was funny. And I gotta say, I think West Coast might be maybe a good one for a Shakira kind of beer, right?
Maybe.
I'm like, you see, I can have fun with my glasses when I'm doing a pour four at home. I'm just trying to find a good way to hold it. Now this, it is more malty. Definitely more malty than a regular West Coast IPA. Not as bitter. It kind of lingers, this bitterness, and it's actually a little interesting because the bitterness kind of starts in the front and it kind of just mellows through your mouth the entire time. It doesn't really like lose its bitterness. It just goes throughout your mouth as you're drinking it. And this is a good tasting IPA. I mean, it's definitely I'm thinking of West Coast, I'm expecting a more bitter taste, more straightforward IPA, and this is very straightforward. But I think the maltiness kind of, if you've added more malt to give it a little bit more of an easier drink, it's doing exactly what you want it to do. And it turns out, I mean, this is pretty solid. It's just a good, solid West Coast IPA. All right, so Teleporter.
Teleporter, yeah, this is my first dark beer, all grain. It's another. I really, for the first handful of beers, just went for some straightforward, easy drinking, starter level into that type of beer. Just a straightforward roasty, a little bit caramely, straightforward porter.
Yeah, I'm getting that with the. I'm feeling the roastiness. It's like in the center of your mouth, the way it drinks, that coffee. almost like a bittersweet chocolate with it as well. You know how like it's the semi-sweet. It's not so sweet. It's more of the I don't know. It's a different taste of chocolate. That's more cooking terms, but I feel like
I've had it before. Yeah, I know.
It's good, roasty notes, feels nice, drinks easy. I mean, you're really just able to. I mean, like I feel like this is one I want to crack when we're gaming, because when they're sitting to the side and I can just grab it off the shelf and take a sip, I'm like, oh, that sits me down for a minute, lets me just take a minute, sit back and relax and drink this beer, you know.
So Irish Red.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, this is my Irish Red. This is affectionately named Live It Slain. It is after a big Red Hot Chili Peppers fan. They released a Live at Slain Castle DVD, and you know they performed there. A lot of other big names have, and I was trying to come up with a name for an Irish beer, and I was like, well, you know, it brings in the Irish and something I'm really passionate about. So we got that, and it is the lightest beer I've done to this point. So
you know, I just got the second vaccine shot, and it knocked me. It knocked me the next day. And the night that I got it on St. Patrick's Day. So I was like, well, I got to drink like at least something Irish, you know, to feel like I'm a part of this. Yeah. So I got Smithwick's Irish Reds, and I mean, I was drinking that. I had just a 6-pack, drank about 4 of them throughout the night. And, you know, that's kind of just had that. That's I'm already a good comparison to that, and it honestly feeling a similar, you know, way to Smithwick's, which Smithwick's is Guinness, but a little bit more flavor in this beer compared to nothing to knock them, but I feel like how I was explaining with the up and over, the way that it goes, your flavor hits you and it's smooth. It goes way smooths out at the end, and it drinks so well.
And the last one.
So I was so excited when you brewed this, and I'm so glad you bottled it for me and sent it over. This was something special. So this is the Cadbury Cream Egg beer, but Goose Island, everyone knows, craft beer people, we know, they partner with Cadbury to make a beer. So I get to try something that was Cadbury Cream Egg, but you talk about it.
And this is, I've taken a couple small samples, but this is like my first full pour. What I bottled for you, I pushed along a little ahead of when I was gonna, you know, fully tap it. But
so it might be a little bit early, but we get to try it.
Yeah, it should be good.
All right, so, cheers, buddy.
This is a first, yeah.
Wow.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
First of all, I haven't had a Cadbury Cream Egg beer in a little... Cadbury... Oh, wow. How many beers have I had? I haven't had a Cadbury Cream Egg in a little while. Literally, my backyard's CVS. So I was going to go over and grab one before I tried this to, like, remember what it tastes like. I want you to know that there is no part of me that thinks that this is bad. I know that I'm kind of processing my thoughts.
It's different. It's very sweet.
No. This could have been sweeter. I honestly, you want to know the real truth? When you say Cadbury Cream Egg, I fully believe that's when my mind clicks, and I would say this could definitely be sweeter.
Okay.
But given that, I love this. I love this beer.
It's pretty good. I'm happy with it. Yeah. It's I was afraid like.
We gotta mention it. You haven't mentioned it yet. You threw Cadbury Cream Eggs into the beer. We've talked about this on different shows, but I watched. I missed it, but I know that they splashed when they went into the water.
Yeah. They splashed me in the eye. So yeah, it was rough.
Blood, sweat, and tears go into this.
Yeah, low ABV. It's a milk stout. There's like a pound of lactose added into this. Some, chocolate stuff, some vanilla, when I kegged it, whatnot. But yeah, because I wasn't intending to add that stuff, and I was like, I tasted it when I went to keg it, and I was like, yeah, could probably use, just to give it that feel. And I mean, I don't know that you want a beer that is like knock your socks off sweet, like a Cadbury cream egg, because man, those things, I hadn't had one in years before I decided to brew this, and I tasted one, I was like, okay, yeah, maybe not that sweet, but we'll try to get something similar.
If you want to see what Andrew's brewing, check out twitch.tv/Watchdog Home Brewery. He's brewing every Saturday, or head to his Instagram at Watchdog Home Brewery. Posting almost every day. It's cool to see what he's doing, brewing something different all the time. We got a lot of different stuff going on behind the scenes for What's on Tap, so make sure you subscribe to the YouTube page, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter so you can see what we're doing next on What's on Tap. Cheers. I'm gonna grab, let's go with the Irish, because I still got a little bit of that left. 12-ounce beers for a pour 4. I'm a little bit tipsy. See you guys later.